Hey everybody, it's 21 News Chief Meteorologist Eric Wilhelm. This is the Valley's most in-depth weather forecast video. Of course, it's Monday evening's weather for Weather Geeks on the 14th day of September. We have a lot to talk about in this evening's video, although our local forecast is going to be pretty quiet over the next handful of days. There's plenty of interesting things to discuss, including this report, which you may have seen in the news today. NOAA came out with their summer review and their August review of global temperatures, and for meteorological summer in the northern hemisphere, June, July, August, it was the warmest such June, July, August on record across the globe. It's almost impossible to find somewhere where temperatures were significantly cooler than average during June, July, and August. As far as August itself, it was the second warmest August on record globally. One of the cooler spots actually globally was across the central U.S. You can find a little speck of white and blue there. Eastern Siberia, another spot, maybe a few spots in Africa, but again, it's just almost impossible to find any sort of significant real estate covered by cooler than average temperatures when you look at the longer term trends. This, of course, is consistent with climate change and something we've gotten, unfortunately, very, very used to in recent months and recent years. Back here at home, though, anything but real warm today. Actually, our 67 at the Youngstown Warren Airport today was the coolest high temperature for the Youngstown Warren Airport since May 31st, when it was 60. So it's been a little while since we've had a day this cool. Temperatures were probably trimmed a little bit, nothing significant, but a little bit, by the presence of all the wildfire smoke overhead, which we are going to talk about, of course, in this video. This time-lapse from Niles today shows the very hazy conditions throughout the day. Most of this was not cloudiness. You have a few fair weather cumulus clouds, but most of this was high-altitude wildfire smoke. If it were not for the smoke, we'd have just a beautiful deep blue sky today with low humidity, low dew points, but the air was definitely a little bit hazy. This is not something that we're breathing in. Unlike in California and Oregon, where it's a severe health hazard with air quality being very poor, for us, this far to the east, this is all very high altitude stuff. Unless you live at 20,000 feet, you are not breathing this in, thankfully. But this is going to be a factor, I think, for the next couple of days as well. And we're not alone in this. If you look carefully, you can see just sort of, look at the visible satellite, all this kind of just grayish on the satellite. Most of this is not cloudiness. It is smoke encompassing a lot of the Midwest, the Ohio Valley, and all the way towards the East Coast. The brighter the colors here, the thicker the smoke, and I think we're going to see a repeat of this coming up tomorrow and coming up on Wednesday as well. Even though the smoke may be a little thicker up towards the U.S.-Canadian border, it's still going to be a factor in our sky for the next couple of days. All right, let's talk tropics. We're almost out of names in the Atlantic basin. That's how busy of a season it has been. At the end of the alphabet, we'll go to the Greek alphabet, and I think that's probably going to happen. And the last time that happened, and the only time it's happened in recorded history, back in 2005. Probably going to do it, though, in 2020. This is Sally, which has been strengthening fairly rapidly over the last 24 hours or so as it approaches the coast. It's another thing we've seen a lot of lately, and there's scientific research to suggest that climate change is playing a factor not only in the overall intensity of tropical cyclones, but the rapid intensification just prior to landfall, perhaps something that climate change is making a little more likely. And hurricane warnings are up this evening for New Orleans, for Biloxi, over towards Pensacola as well. A Category 2 storm, right now gusts up to 120, 987 for the pressure. All of this is very impressive looking on the satellite, and when you look at the stats. And as far as the track goes, this is going to make landfall as we head into Tuesday morning, probably east of New Orleans, somewhere in coastal Mississippi and Alabama, extreme western Florida as well. And while the winds are going to be significant with this, it's Category 2 after all, when all is said and done, it's probably the rain that's going to be the biggest issue. And we are near the climatological peak of the tropical season in the Atlantic basin. The technical peak was 3 or 4 days ago, but we're still pretty close to that peak. And boy, no kidding, when you look at the Atlantic basin, look at all the things swirling out here. Now, a couple of these are duds and nothing burgers, including that and that, but got to keep an eye on this, and the wave train's going to keep coming off of Africa, and we got a long ways to go through September and October before we are done talking tropics. Thankfully, in our location, we're not expecting impacts from Sally, which is going to get a shove out east thanks to the cold front that's going to roll through our area on Thursday. That front will arrive Thursday. Until then, high pressure brings us sunshine and hazy skies, but otherwise sunshine, nice weather for the next couple of days, while tomorrow will be a little bit warmer than today. I think Wednesday will be significantly warmer with a more southwesterly push of air. We'll get into the upper 70s on Wednesday. Last time we're going to see the upper 70s for a while. This front means business on Thursday. Now, it's not going to have much moisture to work with, maybe stray shower Thursday, but behind the front, wow, really October-like at the end of the week and into the weekend. Here comes the cooler than average temperatures descending out of Canada and setting up shop in the eastern U.S. through Saturday and into Saturday night and Sunday. Can't rule out at this point, maybe some patchy frost in the colder sheltered valleys Friday night and again Saturday night. Something that's certainly no guarantee at this early stage, but at this point, don't want to rule it out. When it comes to the first frost, this is a little bit harder than saying when the first freeze is, because the first freeze, we know it's 32 degrees. First frost, that can occur with air temperatures 35, 36. But as far as a reasonable guesstimate here, our average widespread frost, the date of it occurs early in October, somewhere between the 1st and 4th. It's occurred as early as September in some recent years, including 2013 and 14. Most of the time, though, we're talking October. So, this is an air mass not to be trifled with at the end of the week. It's going to be a great weekend. Cold mornings, but sunshine, temperatures middle and upper 60s. Nice hoodie weather this weekend. Again, a little October preview. Now, October is not going to just arrive a couple weeks early and just stay here. I do think that warmer air is going to be found by next week as some of the warmth out west starts to come east. So this is the 8 to 14 day outlook, and you can kind of take this to mean that a lot of the eastern cool weather will be replaced by some of that warmth as we go deeper into that 8 to 14 day period next week. That's it for me tonight. Thank you for watching Weather for Weather Geeks, and I will see you back here with a fresh edition of this video. Same time, same place on Tuesday.